Good evening, all. Ira Epstein, and here we are with your financial market wrap-up. And this wrap-up is for the evening of Thursday, and we're at the 28th of August, 2025, just getting on to 6 p.m. Central Time. Well, my friends, today was the day the markets had to prove themselves, and they did. The stock market, some of the indices went up to all-time highs. That's with the fear of Nvidia. They're selling off a little today, but in the evening, but they did very well. Gold's approaching the 3,500 level one more time. The grain markets are trying to hold on here to get through the Labor Day weekend to see what they have. The bonds and notes, it's time to switch over to the Decembers and everything. On the energy markets, it's a difficult market because you don't know what to expect with President Putin and Trump. All I can tell you is there's got to be something going on behind closed doors, because the one thing President Trump doesn't have is patience. And yet here he is, and he does nothing about Putin day after day attacking Kiev, other key cities. All we read are the people that are dying, and nothing's happening. So knowing the man as we do, you've got to think there's something going on. Otherwise, as I said, he's being played like a bad fiddle. When we look at the foreign currencies tonight, they're all down, but the dollar took a beating during the day, getting down another 40 points into the 97.30s. But as you'll see, you're sort of in the middle of no man's land. Tomorrow we have some interesting reports. We're going to get the government's favorite PCE price index. That's going to come out at 7:30 in the morning. I don't worry about it now because the Fed's already said they're going to let inflation run a little bit. They realize the tariffs are going to cause it, and that's where you're going to be. A lot of stories going on with the wiping out of the free shipping out of some foreign countries to the United States. Now everything's tariffed, and some of the carriers are refusing to ship anything. It's too difficult for them to get the tariff money on it. The August Chicago PMI, well, that's going to come out at 8:45, and then we get the University of Michigan final consumer confidence, and this is the revision of the one that we get at the beginning. But we're coming to that nitty-gritty time of the jobs data coming up next week, and you've got to pay attention because the market's going to focus on that in a big way. So as we look at the S&P, if you were to finish right here, you're at an all-time high close. Congratulations. The market broke through, as you can see, still holding on very well. When we take a look, you can see the pattern is higher lows, higher highs on the swing line. This is a chart without the swing line. It's just so much easier to read once you put that on and those arrows come in for you. And I make these bigger. The way that I've set them in the charting software, you use a clicker and it'll print every one, or the last ones only. You decide if you want none to show. That's up to you. And you don't have to have the swing line study either. As we're coming up here, where's the Bollinger Band? That's the next resistance I'm looking for, 65.45. And momentum, are you going to embed? If you do develop an embedded reading, watch out. You could really accelerate even further as this goes on. And remember what I told you, the seasonals all kick in now. In the NASDAQ, higher lows, higher highs. This was the index I was most worried about. It held on just fine. If it goes up, it's got about another 30, 40 points before it gets up into that 2,400 level, and that's the next Bollinger Band spot. When we look at the Dow, it keeps coming up with higher lows, higher highs, and it has the embedded reading. So the Dow and the Russell are where traders stepped into the market, went aggressive. They're both embedded. They're both, technically speaking, they're the strongest of the indices. I keep seeing traders coming out and going, let's pick up Russell, because with interest rates dropping, those low cap companies, these are the ones that need money. They don't have a lot of capitalization. They do better, and I agree with that. In the DAX, the question is, are we going to get any follow-through, which one way or the other? We have a higher high and lower low. I don't see anything there. Look at the 10-year note. You're back up to the upper Bollinger Band. Look at the 2-year. The market's up to the upper Bollinger Band. So going into the Fed meetings at mid-September, it's interesting what's happened. The market is coming to the upside. Interest rates falling, not rallying. In the dollar index, you're in no man's land. You're stuck in the Bollinger Band, the narrowness of it, and the flip-flop is in the eurocurrency. This is exactly what I expected in my last U.S. dollar report. The timing of it is perfect. We'll see how it comes out of here. In the British pound, I'm going to continue to say that I see more bullishness than bearishness. I think that when you look at the inflation and what's going on, I don't know that the bank can cut interest rates anymore for a while at the Bank of England. So we'll see what goes on with that. Bitcoin, well, the market's still oversold. It's had a break. It's bounced nicely off the lows. It's come up a little bit from here, a couple of $1,000s. We'll see if that's just a bounce in a bearish market. On the energy markets, the big question is, if the U.S. hits Russia with sanctions, does that drive energy prices higher? You would think it would, the first reaction. Same in WTI. We're getting a little overbought, though. Same in the gasoline. This is your rally into Labor Day, and then I look for it to slip back. And in that gas, you lost your bearish embedded reading. You went right to the 18-day average and stopped there. It's exactly what I teach in my course. So speaking of that, you might want to take advantage of 1/3 off in my Bollinger Band course, my outside day courses, the full charting course that we have, and all the research. Just go to iraepstein.com, either under research or courses. It's all there for you, iraepstein.com, or click one of the cursors you see up here. With that, I'm Ira. You have yourself a great evening. I finally got this done early today. I was excited to get that done. And I will catch up with you all in the other videos tonight or in the morning video. You have yourself a great evening. Take care.